Welcome to the Parkland Challenge 2019. We're already on bracket 3. Let's take a quick look at the rules and then we'll meet the teams.
The rules are simple. The game is made up of 3 rounds. In the first round, we will have 12 minutes of questions. If a player buzzes in, they must answer the question. If they are correct, their team gets 10 points. If they are incorrect, their opponent gets to huddle as a team and try to steal the 10 points. Halfway through the round, a pre-assigned video question will be given to one of the teams. The question is just for that team and is worth 20 points.
Okay, heading into our lightning round, it's Leroy 180, Blue Ridge 100.
The second round is a 3-minute lightning round. Correct answers are still worth 10 points, but during this round, there will be no stealing of points, and teams will lose 10 points for incorrect answers. The third round is identical to the first. The team that didn't get the video question will get their chance during this round. At the end of the 3 rounds, we tally up the points and determine a winner.
Okay, so far we know Champaign Central and Villa Grove will be in our finals. Maybe one of these two teams will join them. It's Cissna Park and St. Thomas More from Champaign. So let's go ahead and meet the teams.
Hayden Overbay, Jr.
Anna Hilbert, Senior.
Will Petrie, Jr.
Zane Pierce, Jr.
Gavin Spears, Jr.
Gus Weber, Senior.
Ryan Pinto, Jr.
Will Herner, Sophomore.
Samantha Valentine, Freshman.
Mia Popovics, Freshman.
Emily Hedinger, Freshman.
Okay, let's get started with our game. What U.S. gymnast won the 1984 Women's All-Around Olympic Gold by a scant 0.05 of a point? That was Mary Lou Retton. Mary Lou Retton. What is the word for unreal illness in which the physical symptoms are traced back to mental causes? St. Thomas More, Will.
Placebo.
Not placebo. No, you can confer if you would like. Traced back to mental causes.
Psychological?
No, psychosomatic. Psychosomatic. Who voiced Looney Tunes characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig? Cissna Park.
Robin Williams.
Not Robin Williams. You guys can confirm?
Dude, I just watched this yesterday.
No answer.
Mel Blanc.
Mel Blanc.
What is the medical name for the big toe? That is the hallux. The hallux. Which country is the setting for the dinosaur park in Jurassic Park? St. Thomas More, Smith.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica is correct. Good job. What organ does basal cell carcinoma strike? Cissna Park.
Lung?
Not lung, no.
Heart?
No, the skin. The skin. To whom is the expression 15 minutes of fame credited to? It was Andy Warhol. What does the zip in zip code stand for? It stands for Zone Improvement Plan. What year saw the most famous stock market crash in history? Cissna Park.
1929.
29 is correct. In which U.S. state is Brown University located? St. Thomas More, right.
Massachusetts?
Not Massachusetts. You guys can go.
New York.
Rhode Island. Macon, Georgia's Wesleyan College was chartered in 1836 specifically to grant degrees to a certain type of person. What type of person was it chartered to grant degrees to? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
Soldiers.
Not soldiers, no. You guys can confirm?
Women?
Yes, women is correct. Which is the only planet that rotates clockwise? Cissna Park, what?
Uranus.
No. Let's confirm.
You pronounced it wrong. Shut up.
Mercury. Venus. By what name is Lawrence Turrido better known as? St. Thomas More, Smith.
Lawrence of Arabia.
Not Lawrence of Arabia. You guys can confirm?
I was going to say that. I don't know. No answer.
Mr. T.
Keith Lawrence.
What is a group of rhinoceroses called? Cissna Park, look.
Herd.
Not her. Yes, her. Crash. A crash.
Crash.
Oh, I remember.
In which continent will you find the Atlas Mountains? St. Thomas More guess.
Africa.
Africa is correct. Well, Kobe Bryant has spent his whole career with the Los Angeles Lakers. He was acquired in a draft day trade. Who originally drafted him? Cissna Park, Hayden.
Charlotte Hornets.
Charlotte Hornets is correct. What is the title of Ernest Hemingway's first novel? The Sun Also Rises. What is the former name of Istanbul? St. Thomas More guess.
Constantinople.
Constantinople is correct. What is the third letter of the Greek alphabet? St. Thomas More Samantha.
Delta.
Not delta. Gamma. White Plains is a posh suburb in what eastern metropolis? White Plains is a posh suburb of what eastern metropolis? St. Thomas More guess.
New York City.
Yes. What is the only number with the same number of letters as the meaning of its name? St. Thomas More. 4. 4 is correct, yes. What ingredient in fresh milk is eventually devoured by bacteria, causing the sour taste? Cissna Park, Hayden.
Lactose.
Lactose is correct. The abbreviation ORD for Chicago's O'Hare Airport comes from what old name? ORD. It's called Orchard Field one time. Which two states salute the Wright brothers on their license plates? St. Thomas More guess.
North Carolina and South Carolina.
No. You guys can infer?
West Virginia and Virginia. No, North Carolina.
No, that's what he said.
North Carolina and Virginia.
No, North Carolina and Ohio.
I knew it was North Carolina.
How many different letters are used for Roman numerals? Cissna Park, what?
4.
Not 4.
I thought it was 6.
7.
7 is correct.
What's the other 3?
Okay, it's time for this round's video question, which goes to St. Thomas More.
Newman, George, Elaine, Kramer, and Jerry. Name the TV show.
Seinfeld.
The show was Seinfeld. It would last for 9 seasons and focused on the misadventures of stand-up comedian Jerry Seinfeld and his New York City friends.
Okay, great job on the video question. Let's get back to our regular game. Which of the Great Lakes is entirely in the United States? St. Thomas More guess.
Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan is correct. From what article of dress do we get the word sabotage? From what article of dress do we get the word sabotage? Get that from wooden clogs. And I'm not sure why, but we'll find out later. Maybe. Movie star Alan Stewart Koningsberg is better known by what name? Alan Stewart Koningsberg. His better known name is Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
How many countries does Brazil border? Cissna Park, 8.
3.
Not 3.
There's a globe up there.
8.
10. Good number. What is the name of the son on the cartoon The Jetsons? That would be Elroy. His boy
Oh, I thought you meant
Elroy.
like Sun's like the star thing.
Which U.S. president dedicated the Statue of Liberty in 1886? St. Thomas More Smith.
Grant.
Not Grant. No. Yes, confirmed.
Harrison.
Grover Cleveland.
Cleveland. Thick boy.
What Palm Desert, California museum boasts a baseball sign by Fred McGriff a Fred Astaire doll, and a Freddy Krueger doll? Clues right in there. It was the Fred Museum. Named Fred. What country controlled South Africa in the 1880s? St. Thomas More, right?
Britain.
Yes. In what country was Albert Einstein born? Cissna Park, Anna.
Germany.
Germany is correct. What body part became painfully inflamed in an acute case of glossitis? Cissna Park, Will.
The eye.
Not the eye.
Pancreas.
No, the tongue.
That was close.
Close enough.
According to grocery statistics, more money is spent on advertising this breakfast cereal than any other, between $50 and $99 million annually. Which cereal is this? Cissna Park, Will.
Cheerios.
Cheerios is correct. What was a gladiator armed with in addition to a dagger and a spear? Cissna Park, Will.
Gladius.
Pardon?
Gladius.
No.
Close. Yeah, I should have said that.
Shield.
No, they had a net. What is medical examiner Dr. Donald Mallard's nickname on the TV show NCIS? Dr. Donald Mallard. Cissna Park, Will.
The duck.
No.
Duckman.
No, Ducky. Oh, very close. What toy walks downstairs alone or in pairs and is fun for a girl or boy? St. Thomas or Will?
Slinky.
Slinky is correct.
What's overthinking it?
What is the last of the 13 British colonies in America to be formed? Cissna Park, Will.
Georgia.
Georgia is correct. What Memphis mansion was opened to the public in 1982? Cissna Park, Will.
Elvis Presley's mansion.
But I need the name of it.
Oh, what was it called? I don't.
You guys can refer?
Do I know this?
No answer.
No answer. It's Graceland.
Grace. That's the one I was. I read about it. I can't remember.
What P word describes an electrical plug with one prong wider than the other? What P word? That is a polarized plug. Where does the U.S. store its supply of silver? St. Thomas More, guess.
National Reserve.
No. You guys can confirm?
Fort Knox.
No, it's sort of the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Really?
Sort of at West Point.
I was thinking gold.
How many tentacles does a squid have? Cissna Park, Zane.
8.
Not 8.
No?
10.
10.
Octopus. Did the same thing.
Who was Time Magazine's first man of the year in 1927?
Sean Connery.
St. Thomas More Smith.
Babe Ruth.
Not Babe Ruth. You guys can refer?
Sean Connery. No, Calvin Coolidge. President.
Calvin Coolidge.
Charles Lindbergh. Okay, that's the end of the round one. We'll tally up our scores and be back with our lightning round when we return. Okay, after one round, St. Thomas More 120, Cissna Park 70. Pretty good game. Let's get to our lightning round. What is the only bird that can fly backwards? St. Thomas More Smith.
Hummingbird.
Hummingbird is correct. How many pints of blood are there in the average adult human body? 9. Where is the world's largest train station? Where? It is in New York City. New York City. What legendary character spins straw into gold? St. Thomas More Smith.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin is correct. What famous talk show host created Jeopardy? St. Thomas More Smith.
Merv Griffin.
Merv Griffin is correct. What Scandinavian nation is famed for its high taxes and canned hams? Cissna Park, Hayden.
Norway.
Denmark. When is the Ides of March? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
March 15th.
March 15th is correct. Which U.S. state is nicknamed the Beehive State? It's Utah. What breed is a cowardly canine detective, Scooby-Doo? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
Great Dane.
Great Dane is correct. How many edges does a cube have? Will.
8.
Not 8, 12. What is the first name of General Stonewall Jackson? His first name is Thomas.
Is it really? Oh no.
What animal lives in a lodge? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
Beaver.
Beaver is correct. Where in the body is the macula? St. Thomas More, right?
The eye.
The eye is correct, yes. How many floors does the Empire State Building have? 102. What is the official state animal of Maine? St. Thomas More, right?
Lobster.
Not lobster, moose. What sentence contains every letter of the English alphabet? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog.
Yes. How many calories are stored in 1 pound of body fat? Cissna Park, Hayden.
2,500.
Yes. What city is home to the world's longest street? Cissna Park, Hayden.
New York.
Not New York, it's Toronto. The Blind Side is based on the life of which NFL player? Cissna Park, Hayden.
Michael Orr.
Yes. Okay, that's the end of our lightning round. We'll tally up our scores and be back with our final round right after this. Okay, heading into our final round, St. Thomas More 170, Cissna Park 60. What PBS TV show did the Bloodhound Gang solve mysteries? On what PBS TV show did the Bloodhound Gang solve mysteries? It's 3-2-1 Contact. Which man, successor to Abraham Lincoln, was president of the United States when Nebraska gained statehood in 1867? St. Thomas More, Gus.
Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson is correct, yes. Whose famous last words were, "Farewell, my children, forever. I go to your father"? It's Marie Antoinette. What pseudonym was Marion Morrison better known? By what pseudonym was Marion Morrison better known? Cissna Park, Hayden.
Mark Twain.
Not Mark Twain. An answer?
Jane Austen.
That was John Wayne. Mark Twain rhymes with John Wayne. What is mydriasis? It's pupil widening. What is the fastest healing muscle in the body? That is the tongue. What was the first novel ever written on a typewriter? That was Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. What was the name of the German aviator Manfred von Richthofen better known? By what name was German aviator St. Thomas More, Gus?
Red Baron.
The Red Baron, yes. Who founded the American Red Cross? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
Clara Barton.
Clara Barton is correct. What is the only Central American country with English as its official language? St. Thomas More, Gus.
Belize.
Belize is correct. In what year was the Cuban Missile Crisis? St. Thomas More, Gus.
1963.
Not 63, you guys.
Was it Lincoln dead by then? JFK dead by then? No, I don't think so. Maybe 1965.
1964.
1962. What band song states, "Every time I turn that truck around, right at the Georgia line"? What band song states, "Every time I turn that truck around, right at the Georgia line"? Sister Park, Gavin.
Florida Georgia line.
No. Yes, you're first.
No answer.
The Zach Brown Band. The Mariposa War took place between 1850 and 1851 in California. Who was the conflict between? The Mariposa War. It was between Native Americans and miners. What female American Indian was a huge social success in London? St. Thomas More Samantha.
Pocahontas.
Pocahontas is correct. What number does Giga stand for? G-I-G-A. St. Thomas More Will.
Billion.
Pardon?
Billion.
Billion is correct, yes. Which empire lasted from 1324 to 1922? Sister Park, Gavin.
Ottoman.
Ottoman is correct, yes. What TV show is a spin-off from AMC's Breaking Bad? Sister Park, Gavin.
Better Call Saul.
Yes. Where do orange trees originally hail from? Sister Park, Hayden.
Florida.
Not Florida.
Maybe Georgia.
Italy.
China. Which president died in 1868 at his Pennsylvania estate, Wheatland? Sister Park, Hayden.
Johnson.
Not Johnson.
Tyler.
James Buchanan. From which disease did President Ronald Reagan suffer prior to his death in 2004? St. Thomas, what guess?
Alzheimer.
Alzheimer's disease, yes. How many golf majors did Jack Nicklaus win? St. Thomas, what guess?
7.
Not 7. You can confirm.
17. 12. Sure.
12.
18. You did a lot of winning. If you ride the hill climbing trolleys of the Monongahela Incline and Discoin Incline, what Pennsylvania city are you in? Sister Park, Will.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's correct. With all the mispronunciations, you still got it. You get the point. What is the capital of Saudi Arabia? St. Thomas More, right.
Riyadh.
Riyadh is
You
correct.
would know.
What contracting membrane regulates the amount of light entering the eye? Sister Park, Hayden.
Retina.
Not right now.
Iris.
Iris is correct. Okay, it's time for this round's video question, which goes to Cissna Park.
Sam, Norm, Carla, Woody, Diane, and Cliff. Name the TV show.
That 70s show.
The show was Cheers. It ran for 11 seasons and focused on the customers and employees of the Boston bar where everybody knew your name.
Okay, let's finish up our game. What position did both these men hold? Louis Freach and J. Edgar Hoover. St. Thomas, what guess?
Director of the FBI.
Yes. Which team won the first 2 Super Bowls? St. Thomas, what Samantha?
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers is correct. During World War II, if you had a physical or medical condition that kept you from joining the armed forces, what letter and number were you classified as? You're classified as 4F. 4F. What does uranium decay into once it's lost all of its St. Thomas More gas?
Lead.
Lead, all of its radioactivity, yes. What 6 colors come in a standard bag of milk chocolate M&Ms? St. Thomas More, Samantha.
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, brown.
That is correct. Great job. What note does an orchestra tune to? St. Thomas More guess.
A.
A is correct. Which U.S. government agency began operation on October 1st, 1958? Cissna Park, Will.
CIA.
Not the CIA.
EPA.
NASA. What type of milk is traditional feta cheese made from? Cissna Park. Hey,
Go.
not goat. Any answer?
Sheep.
Sheep is correct. In what year was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland published? See, that was for guess.
1922.
No, not that. 222 guess. Confirm.
1894.
1865.
Wait.
What is defined as having a pH less than 7? St. Thomas More right.
Acid.
Acid. What did Alfred Nobel invent besides the Nobel Prize? St. Thomas More will.
Dynamite.
Yes. What color is a lobster's blood? St. Thomas More guess.
Blue.
Blue is correct. What kind of animal is a Transylvanian naked neck? Cissna Park will.
Bird.
Be more specific.
Hawk.
No reaction to her.
Vulture.
A hen. Who was the first first character to speak in the original Star Wars movie? Cissna Park will.
C-3PO.
Yes. Founder Julian Assange leads what website? Cissna Park Hate.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. Which river in New Mexico and Arizona has the same name as a venomous lizard? Cissna Park will.
Snake.
No.
Gila.
Gila is correct. Gila River, Gila Monster. How many counters does a player start with in backgammon? St. Thomas More does.
10.
Not 10. Yes, confirm.
9.
15. What is the main ingredient of mince pie? M-I-N-C-E. Cissna Park Hate.
Meat.
Not meat. Any answer?
Beef.
Fruit.
All right.
Which U.S. state capital was named after a knighted British navigator and writer? That was Raleigh, North Carolina. What was the first human spaceflight program for the United States called? Cissna Park will.
Mercury.
Mercury. Good job. What does the Q stand for in Q-tip? It stands for quality. What husband and wife scientists in 1898 announced the discovery of the most radioactive chemical element, which they called radium? St. Thomas More Gus.
Curie.
Yes. Who was Scrooge's dead partner in Dickens' A Christmas Carol? St. Thomas More Smith.
Jacob Marlowe.
Yes. Okay, that's the end of our game. Looks like St. Thomas More 390, Cissna Park 120. We'll be back to close it up right after this. Okay, once again, our finals for the first game, St. Thomas More 390, Cissna Park 120. Our next game is between Rantoul and Mahomet Seymour, so stick around for that.